Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today we're going to be covering how to make an overpowered beginner's build. Now I wouldn't recommend really getting into this build until you're at least level 50. Of course you can work towards it before you're level 50, which I'm going to get into here. But yeah, I would definitely wait till you're about level 50 to start this, especially because the crafting of the excavator takes a lot of materials and you're best off not to craft one till you're level 45, 50. So just throwing that out there before we start here. But let's get into the stats here that we're going to be using for this build. Now you're going to want 15 strength, 1 perception, 6 endurance, 7 charisma, 12 intelligence, 7 agility, and 8 to luck. Now I don't have any legendary perk cards on affecting this. This is the base amount of stats, so you don't really have to worry about legendary perk cards, but I am going to suggest a few here. So I highly recommend Power Sprinter and take one for the team. Power Sprinter because it will help being in the power armor with the AP so much. It's like a must for me with a power armor build. And like I said, take one for the team because the worst thing about this build is that you're not like super powerful like damage output wise. So taking one for the team will definitely help with the tankier enemies. But like I said, you know, this isn't really a must. These are just what I would recommend for the build. You'll be more than powerful enough to take out 90% of the enemies without these legendary perk cards. And of course I recommend too all the special perk cards here as well, the legendary special perk cards, which will allow you to put more perk cards on your base build, which we're going to show here. So highly recommend those as well. So let's get into the perks that we're going to be using. I highly recommend Traveling Pharmacy. You'll be able to carry a lot of stim packs, which will help, especially if you're a beginner. Bandolier I definitely recommend. It's almost like a must for most people. And what it does is it helps you carry a lot of ammo. So you can have like 20,000 50 cal and 20,000 5mm on you, no problem with this perk. You're going to want it. Lock and load to help you reload your guns quicker. This is going to be heavy guns that we're going to be using for this build, and they do reload fairly slow, so that is going to help a lot. And of course all the heavy gunner perk cards maxed to level 3 as well. I know you don't have to have them all maxed, but this is a beginner's build, so I do just recommend having them all maxed. Level 1 for Refractor because we don't really put any points to Perception for this build, but we don't want to waste the 1 point, so I highly recommend Refractor. And under Endurance, Life Giver, and what was the other one here? Rejuvenate It. Now both of those are going to help with your overall max health. Just make sure you're fully fed and hydrated. And keeping in mind that Endurance, the more Endurance points you have, the more health points you have as well. Under Charisma, I highly recommend Inspirational, Strange in Numbers. Inspirational to help you rank up a little bit quicker, being as you're probably a low level if you're watching this. And Strange in Numbers to help with Mutations, and Tenderizer to do a little bit more damage output. Under Intelligence, First Aid, which is going to make your stim packs heal you more, so it'll give you more health back. Scrapper, I highly recommend for, you know, scrapping guns. You'll get a lot more components back, especially steel, which you're going to need as a lower level character. Stabilized as well. When you're in your power armor, it negates some of the enemy's armor, and it makes your fire a little bit more stabilized as well. So highly recommend that. And Gunsmith and Power User to stop your gun from breaking as quick, and Power User to stop your fusion cores from, you know, draining as fast as well. Now I do recommend you have a level 5 gunsmith in your back pocket for this build as well. I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but you don't need it. Under agility, we're going to have adrenaline. Now I would highly recommend this one as well because every enemy that you kill, you're just going to start doing more and more damage. Every kill pluses your damage by 10%. For a certain amount of time, up to 5 kills. So after 5 kills, you're just doing 50% more damage, which is extremely nice. Born Survivor. I know a lot of people don't like this perk because you can get this basically on a power armor or armor, but if you're a beginner character, I think this perk is amazing. It will save you a lot. Trust me, you just won't be keeping track of your health sometimes, and you may forget the stim pack, and that will help you. And of course Action Boy level 1, just to have that little bit of extra action refresh, which we're going to want for VATs and stuff like that. Under luck, we're going to have Bloody Mess, Class Freak, and Starch Genes. Now, Bloody Mess is going to help with your damage output a little bit. Class Freak and Starch Genes are going to help with your mutations. Now, Class Freak lowers the negative effects of your mutations. I'll link a video in the description that describes or goes into the mutations a bit. So just if you need help with that, there'll be a link in the description. And of course, Starch Genes, which stops you from losing your mutations, because Radaway will take away your mutations. Putting on Starch Genes will stop that from happening, because once you get these mutations, you're not going to want to lose them, obviously. And yeah, here's the mutations. So I do recommend Adrenal Reaction. The minus 12 HP doesn't really matter with this build. You're not going to notice it, and it will help you do more damage the lower your health gets, which is nice. I do recommend Healing Factor. I know you will have a bit of a fast travel glitch, but just, you know, make sure you're not near enemies when you're fast traveling, and you may have to click the fast travel twice. But it hasn't been happening too much to me lately, to be honest. But it will help you recover health when you're not in combat, which is very good for not using stim packs. I recommend Carnivore, not Herbivore. Herd Mentality, another great one. Just join a team and you got 3 extra, you know, points to each perk. Marsupial and Scaly Skin. You know, jump higher, a little bit more carry weight, and energy resistance and damage resistance with Scaly Skin. The minus 12 AP you're not going to really notice with this build as well. So again, Adrenal, Healing, Carnivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Scaly Skin I highly recommend. Now, like I said, we are going to be needing a power armor for this build, so the one I recommend, especially for beginners, is the Excavator. It is an absolutely amazing power armor. I don't have a video on it yet, but I will make one soon, and I will link that in the description as well. So, I didn't want to ruin anything in this video either, but I do show you here that you do go to Garahan Mining Co. here, and you're going to want to go to the underground parking here, and it will start a mission by the time you go in here, and it's called Minor Miracles. Now, like I said, I didn't want to spoil anything, so if you want the Excavator armor, just come over here, go down here like I'm going to show you, and then by then the mission will have started. Yeah. Not a hard mission to do, really, but I will make a video for it. Now, the guns we're going to be using are a 50 cal and a Gatling gun. Very reliable beginner guns. To start off, we're going to be getting the 50 cal, which is close to Hemlock Holes here, so you're going to want to fast travel there. You may have got the power armor at this point. You may not. You might want to go get these guns first for the build, which I would probably recommend maybe getting the guns first. It'll help you, you know, with other stuff as well. So the guns might be the first important, but I just want to say if you're not in the power armor here, there is a little bit of radiation over here. It's not too bad, and there's some snallygasters over here. So just keep in mind, you know, that these enemies can kill you, and just to be careful. You can probably sneak over here and grab this gun without them noticing if you're fast enough. If you're not confident enough that you can kill them. But anyway, the 50 cal machine gun is in the back of this truck here, as you can see. Every time I've come over here, it's pretty much here. Worst case, it's not. Just hop servers and try again. I'm sure you'll find it fairly fast. Very easy to find this gun. Now, the next gun we're going to be getting into is the Gatling gun. And we're going to be coming over here to Lucky Hole Mine, which is another dangerous area as well, so just keep that in mind. Maybe you want to go get the 50 cal first. I would recommend getting it first before you come here, like I did, because it will help you get through the cultists here. When you first spawn in here, you don't really have to fight them. You could just run by them all. I stayed here and fought them for a bit, but you don't have to. You can just run in and go in the door if you're not confident enough, you know, or you don't have a lot of ammo. You might just want to run by them and go into the door back there. But like I said, I did stay and, you know, kill them. It's just in my nature at this point. But yeah, you can just run by them and go into this door fairly easy. I was really intent on killing them all. So, Lucky Hole Mine. Now, once you get in here, I'm going to show you the path that you can take. You more than likely won't have any lock-picking perks. So, like, there is a faster way to get to the Gatling gun, but it is a level 2 door here, so you probably don't have it or can't get through it. So, just follow the route that I'm showing here, and keep in mind there are going to be some cultists, so you know, make sure you're prepared for a little bit of a fight in here before you come in here to get the Gatling gun. Now, I've never really come here and he didn't have the Gatling gun, but like again, if he doesn't, just hop servers and then I'm sure eventually you will find this gun. It spawns at level 20, so I think you have to be at least level 20. And just keep in mind when you get to the area that I'm showing here that it does get a little bit dangerous. I did die here mostly because I wasn't in power armor. So just keep in mind if you're in the power armor that I showed you earlier, the Excavator, then this area won't be as hard. But like I said, I did die. You know, worst case you do, just, you know, respawn, run back here. The enemies will be here as I'm showing. And yeah, you just have to kill the guy with the Gatling gun. Any enemies in this game that have a Gatling gun are extremely powerful. You really notice that during the Mothman Equinox, I think it's called, as a seasonal event. That's another good way to get a Gatling gun. That event might be going on soon, so that would be another way to get one. But if you can't, come to Lucky Hole Mine here and you'll see he has a short Gatling gun and more than a little bit of ammo to start you off with. Another reason why the Gatling gun is so good, because the ammo is just so easy to find. Now, if you can buy the plans for these guns, I highly recommend it because it's going to help you get the mods for the guns. And you're going to want to come to the Watoga Shopping Plaza to get Watoga Shopping Plaza to get these plans. Now they are a little bit expensive, I think up to 3,000 caps. Definitely cheaper if you have hard bargain on or high charisma. Now the reason you want to buy these plans is so that you can make a bunch of these guns or craft a bunch of these guns, the 50 cal and the Gatling gun, and then you're just going to want to scrap them. Maybe keep one of each, right, that you could use if you didn't want to go find them, but you do want to scrap them to find the plans. That's how you get the plans, or sorry, the mods for the guns. That's how you get mods for the guns, is by scrapping them. So by buying this plan, you can craft as many as you want, provided you have the materials, and then you can break them down. The Gatling gun has a little bit more mods for it than the 50 cal. I think with the 50 cal, it's just really the long barrel, and you'd have to get the prime from fighting the queen. But it's not, the prime receiver isn't exactly 100% necessary. The 50 cal is still good without the prime receiver, but I do recommend it in this video. Not for the Gatling gun, I recommend the speedy receiver, which we're going to get into. But again, if you want the mods for these guns and you don't have them, you can come here, buy the plans for them, make guns, and then scrap them, and then you'll have the mods, which I'm about to show now. Okay, so for the 50 cal, now of course you're going to want legendary effects on the guns. You can find them at vendors, you can find them from, you know, random enemies or legendary enemies out in the wasteland. So just try to get your hands on a legendary version of each of these guns, because any legendary is better than a base version. So just try to keep an eye out for one and make sure it's level, you know, 50 and 45 for the 50 cal. Like I said, I do recommend the speedy receiver on the Gatling gun, the long barrel, the comfort grip, like pretty much anything you can put on these two guns. As I was showing earlier, all you can really put on the 50 cal is the prime and the long barrel. So yeah, highly recommend putting on these mods. It will make the guns better. And like I said, if you can get the plans and scrap the guns, that's how you'll get the mods for these. But that's what I recommend right here. And as you can see, this is pretty much the build is ready to go. You know, these super mutants, 3 or 4 of them here were shooting me, and they just could not kill me. So I just wanted to show you guys that it is very tanky, and it will keep you alive. And like I said, you will more than easily kill these enemies as well, which I'm about to show. But with these perks on, you can see they just couldn't really do much to me. You will be fairly overpowered and die very rarely with this build, I assure you. Now these are just base guns, and you can still see like the Gatling gun is doing more than a little bit of damage to these super mutants. But I do highly recommend you find legendary versions of these guns. If you do find one at a vendor, it's like a 99% chance it's max level, so just keep that in mind. Here's the base version of the 50 cal as well. Now this is with the prime receiver, which I did recommend, but to be honest, without it, it is still very good. Like as you can see, it just tears through the super mutants no problem. I would recommend getting a Gatling plasma eventually with this build as well. That's another heavy gun. It will definitely help with the tankier enemies like a Scorch Beast Queen or a Mirelurk Queen or a Sheep Squatch. Highly recommend getting one of those guns as well, but you don't really have to worry about that for a while, to be honest. Okay, so now here's legendary guns. Now, this one specifically is an Executioner's faster fire rate, 90% reduced weight. Now, I just wanted to showcase the damage these guns can do with this build. I didn't change builds or anything. I'm still on the same beginner build here. And you can see that these guns are extremely powerful, like more than you would need. Like, look, just, you know, it's almost twice as good as the base version. Again, don't forget to be in your power armor, because you won't have any armor on you. If you see me in the video not taking too much damage when I'm not in power armor, it's because I have regular armor on as well. Which, keep in mind, when you hop in a power armor, your other armor means nothing. So if you're in a power armor 90% of the time, at least, then I wouldn't have any armor that you wear on your character on, because it'll just weigh you down. So keep that in mind. If you're using a power armor, all you need is some apparel. And as you can see, this 50 cal is just tearing up these high-level super mutants. No problem. Like, we go down here, there's a level 100, and he shoots a rocket launcher at me, and it barely takes off any of my health, and I just destroy him. Like, what was that? 10 health? 10 HP? Sorry, 10% of my HP? Not a lot. Now we're going to get into the Gatling gun. I just wanted to show you that I have an anti-armor faster fire rate. So I highly recommend an anti-armor faster fire rate, maybe 90% reduced weight if you can find it. I would love one myself, but this is one of the better ones I've found. And as I'm going to show you here, it just destroys the enemies. No problem. Level 100, like 4 or 5 shots there. So this is the difference between the base guns and the legendary guns. I just wanted to point that out. So nobody was confused in the video. You really should eventually look for legendary weapons, of course. I'm sure you'll be more than satisfied with the base versions if you follow my guide here, but, you know, make sure you're looking for legendary guns as well, especially at camp vendors. Highly recommend 2 shots, even a Furious, anti-armor, of course. Vampires is great for conserving health. Those are the types that you're going to be looking for. And yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to change up. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I'm sure if you follow this guide, you will be super tanky and killing everything in your sights in no time. And I really hope this helps some of the beginners out there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're almost at 5K. I love you guys. Take care. Have a great day.